This is very important in reference to reaction times of history and situations of treasury and documents of facts and the real protocol of my identity and who I am and who my parents are. Like, for instance, these people have been holding me hostage under the name Mark Ray for a long time. And of course, there's some people that know my birth name and some people that know who my parents are and grandparents. And, when does the Treasury say, okay, wait a minute, this has been going on a long time? The satellite man choking me. What's your reaction time to that? You say, oh, wait a minute, he's got acute asthma. Choking him would cause him suffocation, injury, or a person being. You say, well, what's the reaction time on that when that happens? A couple minutes. When somebody's getting suffocated or choked, what's the reaction time on that? And how many times per day? Do you say, okay, wait a minute, you've been choking him a long time, but wait a minute, this has been a hostage situation. Oh, wait a minute, this has been an abusive situation for a very long time. Or, wait a minute, they've been depriving him of his money for a very long time, is what somebody might say about this situation. Or somebody might say, wait a minute, they've been blocking him from his mother and father's mansions for a long time. They've been enslaving him, depriving him of his wealth, while other people have been advertising their wealth and overshadowing him when there's no legal position for them to be overshadowing him at all, is what somebody's saying in reference to these people trying to overshadow me. Don't forget, they're playing Photoshop with the fucking camera and phone. And they've damaged this side of my nose. They try to make this side of my nose look long when they've been smashing on this side of the face and nose, and they've been smashing on this side too. But anyways, when the reaction time of financial deprivation in reference to trust funds or revenues of a multi-trillion-dollar corporation, or the fact of inventions or revenues or dividends, and people blocking me from my rights of wealth and ownership and my family history. I mean, what is the reaction time on that? Because we need the timeline of information publicly known, what the reaction time has been on this situation. You understand that? Like, I got kidnapped from my mother and father's mansion, and it seemed like everybody seemed to have gotten confused who I am. Like they forgot about who I am, some people. When I'm the owner of the companies and the royal protocols on television 24 hours a day to remind everybody in the country who I am 24 hours a day. And what I'm the owner of, always, 24 hours a day, in reference to basic points of information of many things. So, but in reference to the men trying to steal my penis, men trying to steal sperm, men trying to steal my blood, government people trying to steal my identity. What is the reaction time to putting a stop to these games and abuses of these people hurting me and terrorizing me? You say, okay, wait a minute, that satellite's on him. That's causing him skin damage. That's causing him spider veins. That's causing him varicose veins. That's causing warping of his face. What's the reaction time to say, okay, wait a minute, why are you staring at his face? That causes damage to the teeth. What causes damage to the jawline? That causes damage to the skin and the neck and the legs and arms. And wait a minute, what's your reaction time to saying, hey, wait a minute, I think that's a little too long to be looking at somebody's satellite man, is what somebody might say to these people. Or when they've stolen millions of dollars and then they tried to make me live in poverty when I'm the rightful owner of my mother and father's estates, and my parents got murdered by thieves. And the Treasury has all the documents in reference to where my mother and father's wealth came from. So they know everything's right, everything's legitimate and factual. So, in reference to people trying to play tricks or scams, and there's other treasuries that know where my mother and father's wealth came from, and people that know what my revenues are in reference to the companies, because I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates, and people knowing the revenues of what my social media is that I have not received a penny of in all these years. And residuals and, syndication monies of shows and TV, history and media, and modeling and singing and, revenues and things like that. So, somebody say, okay, when do they say, okay, wait a minute, well, they tried to make him look like a poor boy for a very, very long time. He was never supposed to look like a poor boy. They're supposed to be living a poor lifestyle. When do they put a stop to it? The tricks, the lies, the manipulations, the abuses. People want to know what the reaction time is in this hostage situation. When do you stop the satellite man from making his mouth look crooked or damaging his lips and face, is what somebody might say about these people damaging my face and teeth. When do you stop them from burning his crotch and penis with a satellite? They do that just about every day I get back from work, or where I go to a store or something. When I get up to the door to unlock the door to come into the house,